All right, you ready? I'm Chad Attlesey. This is Pete Wall, and I'm going to say this wrong, just to get you. Yes, AJ Montpetit. So we are the MindTech team, and we have a question for you. I want you to think about this.
Touchscreen, Chad.
Why it's not working right? Okay, do you remember the first time you had a truly profound experience in person? Whether it was looking through a telescope at rings at the rings of Saturn, or looking under a microscope and seeing pond water and the life on that. That first time, that spark, that thing that maybe carried you through the rest of your life and changed your career path. Well, we want to help foster a fascination in STEAM: science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. We want kids to be obsessed by what they see. Problem is that today we are teaching our kids through Googling and through videos over the internet. And they're not getting that first-person, in-person experience. So we want to change that. You know, for example, do you remember when you were in high school or junior high and you were sitting waiting for a microscope to see what was going on in a classroom project, and the amateur wannabe Madame Curie was hogging the microscope and not letting anybody else look, and maybe you got about 10 seconds to look at it before you got pushed aside or the bell rang, only to find out the next day that Madame Curie had pink eye, and now you do too. It's kind of an extreme example, but it's kind of shows what we want to try to solve with our product. And that product is a microscope for everybody. What that means is that we are creating a microscope that would be distributed along with the iPad or Chromebook for every child in K through 12. And there's a lot going on in a very small package. This is a ruggedized microscope designed to be portable, so it's not only for the classroom, but it's also to be taken home, taken out to the park, the pond, and for kids to discover on their own and have their own experiences. It's a highly capable microscope. It's not a toy. Just because it's in something that looks like it could be a lunchbox, it's actually a very highly capable piece of technology, including up to 230 power. It is Wi-Fi enabled. It does 1080p video. We can do still frame and photo capture. It has a battery, lithium-ion rechargeable battery system, so it can be taken out in the field. And we can also customize it for schools, or for individuals for that matter. There's usually a lot charge involved. So say your school wants your school colors and your school logo, we can put that on there with silkscreen in manufacturing. It's also highly stackable. It's very stable and takes a very small footprint in a closet in a school, which is important for storage. We're partnered, as Steve mentioned. Sorry to give him a hard time. With Inside Out. Inside Out has worked with us to develop the requirements to meet their curriculum needs. So Inside Out is a partnership with Mayo Clinic. Steve. It's a Mayo Clinic and University of Winona, Rochester, and Rochester schools. And my kids actually, I have two sons that are at Lincoln at Man, now Lincoln schools, that also went through this program. And they learned about the life cycle of a zebrafish and cell division and all kinds of other important things through firsthand experience. And they then wrote reports, and it became part of their whole curriculum at the school. And I think it was a very important experience for them to have. And we want to create a microscope that allows them to carry this curriculum around the world. We've developed software to go along with our hardware, with our microscope. The software works through Wi-Fi or through USB to a Chromebook, iPad, iPhone, Mac OS, PC. We're multi-platform, and we just jumped ahead 3 slides. So it's touchscreen activated. So I can touch a point of interest and it creates a dot. Touch another point. It creates another dot because it's auto-calibrating. And I touch a third. And it gives me angles as well as measurements. So that way I know by looking at this that this zebrafish is roughly a little over a day old because of the 80-degree bend there. And that's all part of what's taught in the curriculum with Inside Out. It can also be used for looking at electronics, failure analysis, material analysis, anything that really needs a very highly capable, accurate microscope. So what's it worth? Now, there's a saying that something's only worth what somebody else will pay for it. So what we are shooting for is a $100 price point. We're wanting to get in the hands of everybody. This is a microscope for everyone. And we can do that at quantities of 10,000 or more. And the market right now is roughly, in the United States, there are 55 million kids in school this fall. And at $100 a unit, it's $5 billion plus market. If we get a small part of that, we're doing great. Internationally, we're also looking at much more. Capitalization, we're actually already capitalized. We have parts being manufactured. And all the molds are paid for through our initial purchases that have already been made. So we're fully funded. We're working on a website right now for doing our e-commerce solution and developing a whole community around our products. Once again, I'm Chad Attlesey, Pete Wall, and AJ Montpetit. We are MindTech, and we'll take your questions.
You've probably heard Manu Prakash at Stanford that it's very much into frugal science, particularly not so much for maybe the U.S., but for third world countries. And then he's made certainly a microscope out of cardboard and,
yes.
and lens for 25 cents. And I have to imagine that they have something like this in production or planning that might end up being $5 or $10.
Well, that's a piece of cardboard with a lens in it, and it's interesting to look through something.
But something more akin to this with an iPhone type.
Yeah, I've got a background and experience in manufacturing, product development, taking things from napkin sketch to manufacturing. And I know we're working with the Chinese supply chain right now, and they have a very, very difficult time getting the price point of something like this any lower than where it's at right now, especially in the volumes that we're going to be dealing with, hopefully in the near future. Even now, it's pretty affordable. You could dumb it down and yes, sell it for less. And there are plenty of toy microscopes on the market you can buy for a lot less than that. But you're going to get what you pay for, and it's not going to be Wi-Fi enabled, and it's not going to be able to link with the devices that they're using in their classroom to write their reports, to do their presentations, and it integrates into the whole system. So you're not going to get those capabilities.
Unfortunately, we're out of time, so if you want to talk to the group more, hopefully they'll be around at Collider.
All right, thank you.